Yes, the Acadian Carpenter. It starts at 9:30. I just had some discussion that was going on. It took me a little bit longer to get on. Good morning. Hey, there he is. So we're just speaking of you. Jack Young is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you all say hi. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you being here. Let's do the pleasantries before we begin. We got a fun show today. I've got a couple questions that are going to be answered. We're going to talk a little bit about capped busts. And I'm glad Jack Young is here because he can provide tons of information regarding this topic as well. We have Paula and we have Eric up today. They're both AFK grabbing some coffee. And I'm going to do my pleasantries and say a good how do you do. So let's run through this. Siren Extraordinaire, thank you so much for throwing those links for the other two streams. I appreciate you. The Acadian Carpenter, Coin Junkie, me, good morning, sir. I'm going to answer your question today. I haven't been avoiding you in chat, but I wanted to talk about that live. Silver Spur 420, good day. Hey, Kevin, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Kid of mine is in the house. James Valley is here. Floppy Stacks, good day, sir. How are you? Azure Blue, Jackalope, Jeff Davis. Thank you guys for coming in, spending time with me this morning. So I'm going to jump in really quick to the first question. Now, we have three topics we're going to talk about. We're going to be talking about answering some of these questions. One of them was regarding half times. And the question came from me. And he said, we were talking specifically about the 1843, 44, 45 FS 301. And it's a really cool coin. This is the repunch date. On the 43 and 44, you see the 1, 8, and the 4. I just did a short about this. And the question was, how many did they repunch? Does that number take away from the minting that did that year? Or do they keep good records of those? And the question is, you can find out a census report if you look at something like NGC. However, things like RPMs and RPDs, they didn't necessarily track that because they're little small minor things. It's not something that they track every coin that's been done from a die. Now they can tell you how many dies or how many coins ran from that particular die, but there could have been 5 different die pairings. So you can get an estimate, but it's really, really difficult to say exactly how many of these things were to exist. Now, one thing you can do if you're looking specifically about how many of these are graded or out in publication, one thing that you can do is you can look at consensus reports. But even consensus reports can be wrong. And the reason that the consensus reports can be wrong is because people play the crack out game. Right? So they take one, they grade one, they crack it out, they send it back in. You may have the same coin through 3 or 4 different grading services. They could have originally been graded PCGS, they cracked it, sent it back, didn't get the grade. They could have cracked it, sent it to NGC, didn't get the grade. They could have cracked it, sent it out, and sent it off to CAC. CAC gave them the grade. So you could have that same coin 3, 4, 5 times in this. So when you're talking about census, I think I said consensus. Thank you, Cadroll Hunter. When you're talking about census, you have to understand it's very general. It's very loosely done, right? So you're not going to find the exact numbers of these. Now, can you find out how many? Well, when we were looking at this one in particular, and we were looking at the seated Liberty, again, you can find out about how many are in your grade. So if you're looking at this one, so for instance, we were looking at the 43 FS 301. Now, that's not actually here, right? They don't actually have that particular one listed. Or actually, you do have to click on varieties. Sorry. There's the FS 301. So when you look at the consensus, there's not very many of them. But does that mean that's all there are? No, there's probably way more than that. They probably just are not graded by NGC. You can do the same thing with PCGS. I don't believe CAC has this yet. I think they're working on doing a census report, but right now they don't have it. The other portion of that question was, does it take away from the total mintage? No, it's all part of the total mintage. That doesn't, it's not like they split the difference. They do when you're looking at grading, so they want you to see how many of these are been graded that are normal coins, and then they want to show you the variety. So NGC does do a good job of that. And yeah, Cadwell Hunter, that's exactly where I was going with this. You also have coins that were melted. We talk about this when there was the big meltdown with the Pittman Act, right? We see that where they thought coins were very rare. We've talked about but I can't remember, is it the 1902? That used to be really expensive.
Oh, 04.
04. I never remember that. Well, I don't know why it is. They were extremely expensive, $1,000 a coin, and then all of a sudden this horde found bunches of them, and then they became fairly inexpensive. So you never really know what the true census of a coin is. So hope that answers your question, me. Great question. Do they keep great records? Yes and no. Not necessarily of things like RPMs and stuff, simply because they don't monitor that. This stuff is intolerance.
Many of those were melted down just a little thing to make commemoratives.
Yeah.
So to make the first commemorative.
And there could be a lot of unlisted repunch dates on half times. Like I put in chat, there's a book called Two Dates Are Better Than One by Kevin Flynn. It's a very good resource for repunch dates. It gets into the real obscure ones that are in the denticles and stuff like that.
Yeah, so again, great question, me. But when you're talking about total census of a run, the total mintage of a run, that includes the varieties and things of that nature. But you're looking at many of those errors are going to be one-offs. The varieties, it depends on how long they use the die. It depends on if it was egregious enough that they recognized it and stopped it. A great example of that is the 1955 double die. And Paula has a really cool theory I would like for her to kind of dig into, because I would love to get into that aspect of it. It's an amazing theory. But how many of them are there? Well, it's however many that die produced, right?
Yep. We don't know.
So we don't have the exact number. You look at the die pairings and how long they lasted, and it could have been, they could have done 50,000 coins. They could have done 200,000 coins before that die just deteriorated beyond whatever. We don't know the answer to that.
The day shift was supposed to remove that die.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
Yeah. So there's a number of reasons why you will not be able to find the census of a specific group, of a specific coin. But again, it just really depends. The next question that I had is looking at, and I apologize, I'm not, to try to move this around because I'm not seeing all of my, there we go. All right, so this comes from the Acadian Carpenter, and this was something that's going to go on to a discussion that's happening a little bit later. And this is talking about the counterfeits that we showed yesterday, looking at the site. Jack Young is in the chat again. If you don't know who Jack Young is, type in Jack Young numismatic counterfeit, and you're going to find like the first 40 pages are articles and magazines and videos and stuff that he's done.
Type in the man, the myth, the legend.
The man, the myth. Yes, exactly. And so I really appreciate him being here. But he's like, I can't believe the amount of these coins. And he was talking about silver maples and things of that are coming from eBay and are from China that are under $20. Are really people that, for lack of a better word, dumb? And I wanted to correct this. Hey, Ida, good morning. What I wanted to see is that I don't, and this is, I had an argument with somebody on one of the sites on Facebook, one of the channels on Facebook. And it's like, I need you guys to understand, and there's my phrase, we were talking about that, Paula.
I need you to understand.
Common sense is only common if everybody in the discussion has it. What is common knowledge to Jack and Paula is not necessarily common knowledge to me. That's why I'm learning. You can have somebody that looks at coins all the time, and just because they look at coins every day doesn't mean they have any idea of what they're looking at. So it's really easy to go, well, they're just dumb. No, they're not. They're just uninformed. And so we have to take those opportunities to inform people. We have to give opportunities for people to learn. If we assume we know a situation, but we really haven't had time to break it down and discuss it, then it's just that. It's an assumption. So I would urge people to be very careful doing that. Look at overpaying through legit volumes. Hong Kong, China. I hope these are ending up on Whatnot. They absolutely are.
Well, they are.
They absolutely are. These things are found everywhere, and this is why we talked about that. And I was so grateful for Jack letting me take one of his posts on one of the fakes that he's identified and use it in the live stream and break this down and say, hey, I want you guys to be aware of this. See Happy Chappy, member for 18 months. Let's go. Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate all your support. But when you look at these particular items, when you look at these things, I wasn't insinuating any one of you would go to that particular page and buy a 99-cent fake. What I wanted you guys to be aware of is that not only are they out there, but nefarious people, crooked people, people that have the desire to deceive will utilize those. And people who don't know are like, oh my God, check this out. They got a sale. And why do I say that? Well, I have an ad, and I'm going to show this picture. And it's on my phone, and I tried to find it. Oh, by the way, Eric, I found out where the denticle was going to be on the 2025 ASE. It's right by the date, just to the right of the date. You asked that question yesterday.
Yep.
It's, can you see that?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. There.
Oh, now I can.
Bonk. That's where it's at, right under the 5. According to the renditions. Now, the renditions don't necessarily accurately reflect the information that is in that will be produced. Sometimes the renderings are different. It helps them get all the people to generate fakes based off of the rendering, and then they generate the real coin, and it's different. So, but that's the renderings that I see. That's where it's positioned. Jack Young says they get purchased for resale often as genuine to the uninformed, looking for the great deal. Yeah, and a matter of fact, I got a bunch of, I did a short yesterday, and I don't know if the person wants me to say who it is or not, but they sent me a number of photos because they found some ASEs. And these ASEs got him sitting there on his leg. One was proof and one is just a regular one. And of course, when it came to the pass and he actually bought them, it stuck to a magnet.
That's not a good sign.
That is not a good sign. Yeah, that's a bad thing. So, but what happened? And the comment that was made was, you know, the price was almost too good to be true. And again, I'm not saying you guys can't find good deals. Be aware that you can find them. But be careful. Now, when I talked to the Acadian through the rest of this particular email, the question or the statement that he made is he ended up, because of what was going on, the discussion that happened yesterday, he ended up going to buy maples through ST Bullion. Outstanding. That is a good choice. Now, you might pay a little bit higher at that particular price, but you made a good decision not buying them on Whatnot, buying them from a reputable source. Not only does SD Bullion back their goods, and you can be JM Bullion, Monument Metals, there's a whole bunch of different ones. They're not sponsoring me at all to say this.
And you're probably going to pay less than you will on Whatnot.
Yeah, and you know you're getting a genuine product. So even if you spent $4 more per coin than you did when you saw this on eBay, you know you're getting genuine product. And that is always worth it. Because sometimes you're never going to be able to recuperate that money. And if you do something where you utilize something, a lot of times they say, well, you can't do that because that person said no returns are accepted. Or you return the coins and they come back and they say, well, those aren't the coins that I sent them. Then you run a risk of them trying to utilize your name for their own purposes. So it's just not worth it. Now, Jack is way better at this than I am. If you identify this stuff, report them. But even Jack has stated in his Fun with Fakes, and I need to get into your other channel, Jack. I need to get on that other one. I can never remember.
Dark Side.
The Dark Side, yeah. I need to get into that group. But the one thing that he said is even for him, it's even harder for him to get them removed. But the important thing is to make the effort, to identify it. So what I would suggest is to take, hey, Jack Riley's here. Good morning, Jack.
Jack Riley.
Jack and Jack.
He must be on the other side.
He is on the other side. Come to the other side. You can click the link in the top and come to the landscape side if you want to. Or you can stay there, but there's more chat on the other side.
No, I want him over here.
Take the links, if you find those, like this one, right? And this is what Paula asked yesterday during the stream. Have you sent this link to Jack? And I said, well, actually, Jack posted the link, and I told him I was going to use it.
Yeah, I forgot I'd seen it.
No, it's okay. But here's the thing. If you find one like that, and you pull up the listing, and there's 45 of them, send it to Jack, right? Or you can send it to me, and I'll forward it to Jack. Or send it to Paula, and she'll forward it to Jack. Just so that we have those, so that they can track them, because these things help identify distribution chains, and they might be able to find it. Again, Jack Riley's another one. Jack, if you want to click on the pinned link, you can come over to the other side where more people are chatting.
Jack Riley is specializing kind of in counterfeit Morgans, and he's doing an amazing job. He's a young buck.
But this is where, and again, I absolutely agree. This is where interest becomes passion, and you see this in Jack Riley, right? Like he's all in. There you go, found the link. He's here. Woohoo! But this is the fun stuff, and this is where you find people that are passionate about something. They find something, they learn about something. I go back to Coin Junkie and searching certain coins. He's so much freaking fun to watch. It is a riot to watch these guys talk. And hey, you believe the ironicity of this person? Oh my God, can you imagine this? Check this out. Look at this. I found this amazing thing. And there's so much satire in these groups. They make it fun. Like, it's fun to look at some of these and go, what's going on? And Paula was like, hey, Frosty, do you want to know what's wrong with that coin? Hey, do you want to know? Try to figure it out. Look at it. Do you know what's wrong with this? And this is where plugging into a community of people like this becomes tons of fun. You get to learn from people who really understand what they're looking at. And if you say something wrong, there's like, hey, you know what? A great point, but that's not it. Let me tell you why that's actually correct. That's actually on the coin. That's a normal part of it, right? Or look at this piece right here, right? And I've asked Jack a number of times. Of course, you guys know I've asked Paul 1,000 times. Can you clarify what that means? I'm not seeing it. But, right, Eric, how many times have I said, can you show me that double eyelid?
More than once. More than once.
Yeah, I mean, but this is where it becomes fun, right? This is where having these conversations, being able to look at these, and if you guys aren't, hold on just a second. I've got to do two things real quick.
I don't know if Jack Like, are our names displayed on your thing?
I don't think they are.
So Jack Riley's probably like, who's this chick or dude? He probably thinks I'm a dude. Who's this dude talking up there?
Oh,
Did,
hold on. Yeah, for some
do you
reason
know
they're not.
who's talking to you, Jack Riley?
I love your icon, by the way, Paula.
I
It
love
reminds me
that
of
one.
me.
I love that one.
Why in the world are the names not showing up?
I don't know.
Do. That's weird. They're not showing up. I am not seeing.
Okay, he knows.
Can't miss your voice. Jack Young, just a second. I am doing. There we go. So I'm giving you guys both moderator wrenches. If you guys would do me a favor, post links to your Fun with Fakes, and if you guys have resources, if there are books you have links to, feel free. I give you full reign, and I say that sarcastically, but as we're talking about these things, if there's a resource or something, just post it, and we'll make sure the stuff is there. I will try to go back through the live chat and make sure those things are put in the descriptions. But I appreciate you guys coming in.
Jack's articles.
The the Morgan. I every time I hear that I laugh because it's funny. And now you have the non-Morgan. Right. But yeah, it's just tons of fun. So again, we have the opportunity to learn from some amazing people. Anything else we want to talk about that topic before we go over to the requested topic 2, which is the under-talked about and the underappreciated capped bust $50.
I won't be able to add much to this. A couple things I know. That's about it.
We got a few people in chat that will be able to do this.
Right.
What I wanted to do is I wanted to bring up something. Paul and I have a new cool podcast coming. I am really looking forward to that. She's mentioned that.
Me too, Jack.
Me too.
Yeah, that's.
Me too. I can't wait.
Like me too.
My favorite.
Yeah, I really enjoy those. I learn something every time I watch those, and again, go check out the articles that these guys have done. Go check out that Fun with Fakes. That is absolutely an amazing group. They have a ton of fun over there.
It's fun.
I do not promote Facebook. I can't stand Facebook, but that is an amazing group. Like genuinely, it's an amazing group. Paula, you guys have a good group over there too. Let's see. We got Here we go.
We actually had anyway.
I'm going to put this link in here. I love this site, and I don't know if you guys go to this much, but I love it for a quick reference of coins. If I'm going to be going to buy something at a coin shop, or I'm going to be going to a coin show, and I'm like, I need a particular coin, I will look at some things really, really quickly. Obviously, I'll take a book with me, but when you're sitting down at somebody's table, you don't want to have your resources open and bring a book and be combing through every one of their coins. You want to have an idea of what you're going over, what you're looking at. And so this site right here, I really enjoy this site. And this is NGC's Variety Plus. And you can go through, and there's tons of years. This one in particular is Cap Bust Halves. And you can come to this, and you can actually find a lot of cool information on varieties and the coins.
And they go a little bit further than just cherry pickers varieties.
Yeah, and so
they have their own listings.
I really like, and they'll show you the image of the coin. If there's a variety, I'll pull up a variety here. Overton. They'll actually break down what the Overton is, right? And for those people that are wondering if Overtons are special, every one of these is an Overton. Doesn't matter what year it is.
Just like VAMs.
Just like VAMs, yep. Overtons are... Yeah, guys, I just am seeing this. I apologize. I started a new live and I didn't turn off my ads, so that will not happen again. I had all sorts of technical issues this morning, so please forgive me for that. I normally try to turn off the ads in the middle of them. Bear with me, please. I'm sorry. I can't turn off the ones that happen in chat, but I can turn off the other ones. I just had so many technical issues this morning. But again, you have different Overtons, so you can look at them. But what this does is this helps you kind of at a quick glance to look at some of the coins that are there. And, if I'm looking specifically for a coin where I'm looking at the 2/1, this would give me a kind of a quick glance to see what am I looking for? What is it that I need to be paying attention to? And I'll have some of these, see a really nice strike through here. That's really nice strike through. But this will give you kind of a quick, every Morgan has a VAM, every cat bust has an Overton.
That's a clash. That's a clash.
This is a clash. What did I say?
That's a clash. Strike through.
Oh, that's a clash. I'm sorry. This is a die clash. My bad.
It's okay. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, well, but you can see, there's lots of cool things. But you get to see some of the stuff before you go look at your coin. And I've said this over and over again. If you're going to go shopping for a specific coin, go check out the resources on that coin before you go. Know what you're looking for. If you have 7, 8, 9 of these, and that are at a coin, make sure you know what's there, right? Take your loop. If you go to a coin shop without a loop, you need to be beaten and flogged. Okay, take your loop and look at them and find out what it is. But go do some research before you go. I'm doing a video right now on kind of like some of the very basics. If I'm having to choose my very first coin as a collector, what do I want to do? What do I want to have in mind? And the number one thing and Paula says this all the time, and she has constantly gone back and said, explain to me how that happens. And what she's trying to get me to do is to explain the minting process, help me to understand where in the minting process that could have occurred. Because that is going to help me understand whether or not it's a legitimate item. Because if you were looking at something, for instance, the Incuse Indian, the 1911 fake gold Incuse Indian, right? If you have something raised on a coin and you know that device is supposed to be Incuse, it's a problem. How could that happen? Right? So you would have to be able to say, well, that would have to be a hub issue. Or, excuse me, that would have to be a die issue. I said that wrong. For it to be raised. Like something would have had to have hit the die. That's very unlikely in this particular area. It's not a common one. It's probably damage, right? So being able to understand the minting process will help you identify what happens. So, for instance, this clash. How did this happen, right? How did you get the reverse of the coin on the obverse? How did that happen? If you understand the minting process, then you're able to answer these questions and you can say, oh, okay, so this here is E pluribus unum. Right? And you can see E pluribus unum. Right? That's what that is right there. You see the zoom in, you can see the 1 here off the 2. So it gives you good opportunities to really see what's going on.
Back of the bust, there's a real strong clash at the back of the bust also.
So let's flip this coin over, and that's the wing.
Yep.
Right? And so understanding what it is that you're seeing, being able to identify these things, is really going to help you, number one, determine the authenticity. For instance, how many times, and I know Jack has seen a bunch of these, and Paula has seen a bunch of these, Eric's seen a bunch of these, I think everybody here has seen a bunch of them. Vice coins, right? Vice coins are a huge thing on eBay.
V-I-S-E.
And Etsy. And what are they?
No, S-E. V-I-S-E.
Oh, Vice. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just a little pet peeve I have.
Yeah. Oh, well,
People
because
spell it
people
with
don't know how to
a C.
spell?
Yeah, they spell it with a C. It's
Yeah, the Miami Vice, Josh.
Yeah. Okay, I
yeah,
got you.
it's the Miami Vice.
It's my Vice coin. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
Dun, dun.
Um, Jack Riley, watch out for mislabeled 1832 cat bus slabs. Oh, see, again, another nugget of wisdom. Thank you. But there's a lot of things that you can look at, and I like this site. And so I don't remember who asked me to bring up some cat bust and look at it and say there's not enough love. But if you want to go look at them, there's tons and tons and tons of really cool things here. One thing that's really cool about this is if there's something specific about the third portion of the coin, then they will show you little details about it. So, could you explain what this is?
Nope. No, I can't.
The 1809 edge. So
the edge of the coin.
it's supposed to be a lettered edge,
Okay.
but it looks like there's reading or something on this particular one.
Oh, it was probably something to do with the edge lettering mill.
So, but why is that important?
You get duplicate edge lettering, you get missing edge lettering, you get where it stutters.
Well, but where this becomes really important is when you're trying to identify whether a coin is real or not. You can see the lettering here, and then you can see this little chatter mark area. If that doesn't show up on a coin, then you know you have a problem because they're showing you what this particular year's edge looks like, right? And you can see there's 6 pages of these things. There's tons and tons and tons and tons of these. And you can see some really cool one. I like this one.
I don't think the edge is supposed to look like
I
that.
like this one.
I like that one too.
Do you know why I like this one, though?
Because you own one? I don't know.
Because I was born in 73.
Oh, look at that.
It's just a little goofy thing. But I like this. Now, this goes into something else that I did a little while back.
Yeah, they were lazy, They got lazy on that one.
Yeah, something. He's like, finally one I can see. But I love this kind of stuff. So if you're going to the market and you're going to be looking at coins, go get familiar with what you're looking at before you go. Do a little bit of research. I love this particular site. There's other sites that are really good. If you're going to be going to look for a very... Sorry, go ahead.
Did you see what Jack said? There were a number of experimental edges back then.
So, Jack, can you elaborate on that? So, are you going to have the experimental edge throughout the entire coin? 1817/4? Let me see.
So they didn't call it an edge lettering device back then. It was called, and Jack, if you can the word always escapes me, what the edge lettering mill was called back then. And I can't remember, but they actually, I believe that they put the edge lettering on the planchet prior to striking back then. And Jack, were they doing that back then too?
Castaigne machine.
Yes, Castaigne. Thank you.
Castaigne machine.
Yes, Castaigne with a G, right?
Yeah, it's. Yeah. Oh, let me hold on.
Yeah, and I believe that they did that. Were they doing that back then to prevent clipping of the silver, or did that just come in when they started putting reading on coins?
I think it's spelled like this, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that, yeah. It's with a G at the end, Castaigne, yeah.
Hey, Southern Coin Hunter. Good morning. Hey, UCI2.
For whatever reason, that word, I can't get that word to stick in my brain.
Yeah, I did a video on that one too. but I want to find out more information because they were really cool. It's kind of like a flat upsetting mill, but
Yeah,
it did
it
the
is.
edge lettering.
Yes. And
Yeah,
then
really,
that is
really
still,
cool piece.
that is still how our edge lettering on business strikes are put on coins. Still with that, but it's not called a casting machine anymore, I don't think. But it is like a rolling mill. Um,
Magnuson, what's up? Good morning. Yeah, so again, these are, so let's see, Jack, the
upsetting mill.
1817 over 14, this is the only one. There are 3 others listed, but there's no photos for them. And that is, some of them do have problems where they don't necessarily list all of the information, or they don't have photos, and maybe because they're like one-offs and stuff. But
Anti-clipping. Okay. I wasn't sure if that's why they did that back then or not. I knew that that's why reading on coins was employed, but I didn't know if it was the same with edge lettering and such.
MP68 with a $20 super chat. Frostbyte, great instruction today, dropping 20 to help with future shipping for the community. Thank you so much, bud. I appreciate you. That's very, very nice. I appreciate that super chat. Thanks so much.
Sorry. But this was prior to collars being used, correct, Jack? That was back in like 36 or something when they started using collars, right? I don't know. We're getting deep.
Let me see if I can find. There was something on that, and I seen. Oh, here it is. Okay. I'm like, I know I have this saved. The segmented collar. Let me pull this up. This is.
Okay. No, was it? Collars, period.
Oh, I just did that. What happened?
I know they had open and closed collars, but I don't know when they started using them.
Here is this. This is an article that I saved. This.
Castaigne. Oh, it's actually named after a person. I did not know that. Jean Castaigne.
Yeah, Jean Castaigne.
Jean? Oh, it's not Jean.
Castaigne.
Jean. Sorry.
Segmented collar, a mechanical device of several parts to impart raised letter or raised ornamentation on the edge of a struck piece. The collar is made of 3, 4, or 6 sections, 3 being the most, with incuse ornamentation or lettering on the collar wall. The restraining surface inside the aperture, just meaning the container it's in that closes in, just like a shutter on a camera. When you take a picture, it opens and closes. That's why they call it the aperture. It's how wide it is, and then it closes in on the coin. Sections are assembled and held in place by a retaining ring. The collar plate, the obverse and reverse dies come together. Inside the collar aperture, when struck, the metal from the blanks is spread in all directions, filling the cavities up against the cavity of the collar. Very cool.
Yes, we use segmented collars on our proof dollar coins. We use them. That's how our edge lettering gets on our proof dollar coins. On our business strike, it still goes through the edge lettering, edge lettering. It's not upsetting. It's an edge lettering mill, a rolling mill. But I don't know if they still call that, I don't know if they call that force the blank to roll between 2 engraved bars. I don't know if they still call that.
Let me see if I can find. Here, this is. I stole this from Wikipedia. It's just a picture, so it doesn't really matter.
Because if you think about it, they wouldn't want our proof coins to go through that rolling mechanism.
Yeah. So here is an old Castaigne machine.
Oh, yeah.
They would put the coin, and then they would roll it. Then as this rolled, they would pull the coin through, and then press it up against the elements that are there.
And then that thing on that bar, is that where the
That's
die
where
or
yeah, so it would roll across. And as the coin rolled across, this would be where the imprint was made.
Mm-hmm.
And from here to here is one revolution of a coin. That's how you would get the entire coin. And then I think they said there's 3 or 6 segments to this. But I don't know if they're talking about here. I'm sure there's different ones, different elements of this casting machine. Let's see if they show. That's Jean casting, or that's.
I thought when they were talking about segments, they were talking about an actual collar.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if they're talking about. So this is what that bar would look like. Yeah. And as they rotated it, so for instance, if you can see my mouse, let me zoom in a little bit. My mouse at the top, so as they rolled it across, it would just rotate around. So as they rotated that around, one rotation would be the length of this entire bar. And then as that bar hit, it would implement. So if you, I wish I had 2 abilities to point, but imagine starting here. Then as I went this way, there would be the clover and then the VARE, the art religious, and then Serratori. And that's how that particular item would be incused onto the, because again, this is relief. So this relief would cause the incuse on that edge. So pretty cool.
Way cool.
Yeah, I love this kind of stuff. Casting machine, fun stuff.
Casting, yeah.
All right. Any other questions, or anybody else want to talk about anything regarding capped bust? Any other questions? Any other insights from Jack Riley regarding particular counterfeits that you want to look for when you're looking at this particular coin? Because if not, we'll get to the conversation that we were talking about having yesterday, which was, let's not forget the good fakes. Yeah, there's a lot of them. And this is why it's extremely important to have a good network of people who understand this stuff in your corner. Extremely important.
Dollar edge ornamentation segments. Oh, that's so cool, Jack. I would love to. Someday I'm going to see his stuff. Someday I'm going to see his stuff in person.
Let's say his collection, because saying it the other way sounds bad.
I know, sorry. You sickos.
I added a link. Okay, let's see. Let's pull this up.
I'm going to see his collection.
Oh, very cool. Hold on just a minute. Let's pull this up. I did not see that, so I'm going to pull this up here. So this is an article that was written by, oh man, I hate. Okay. Close. There we go. No, I just closed you. Go away. There we go. Why do you keep coming back? Oh, wait.
Just kidding. I'm back. Just kidding.
You're gonna pick me off, you goofy thing. Okay.
Anyway.
Also, here's some good pickup points to look for when you're talking about items. Push this. Go away.
Well, we know how to get under Frosty's skin, put pop-ups up.
I know, right?
Those things drive me insane. I hate these goofy things. Stop seeing this ad. Not interested in this ad. Now go away. There we go. Okay.
It shows up on the right.
So, Jack, is this a common number to look for? Because what I've started doing, and I need to find it, is on my Morgans, I've started listing some of the known ones. So that when I'm looking at things online, if I happen to see a certain number, that helps flag it. Say again?
There is a list. Jack Riley has put up a thing. Jack Riley has put up a thing in our Facebook group. He's cataloging stuff like that, Um, yes, there are, and I don't remember where. Jack, where's that list of where can they find that list of? Oh my gosh, Paula, spit it out.
Registration numbers.
Certain numbers. Certain numbers. Gee, many Christmas. That hurt. Gosh.
Like that thing, that other
Oh
thing.
my gosh, my brain's not working.
Oh, that's Princess Bride, right? Move that thing.
Get it out.
And that other thing.
Get it out. Can't.
God, I love that movie.
It's
In
great.
German counterfeit. Pickup points for a whole family as you go down. Yeah, as you go down the article.
Yeah, so again, folks, this is something that is, one, I'm honored to have both Jacks in here and Paula and Eric. Thank you so much for supporting me and this stream as you guys do. But it's important to build a network of people that can give you this kind of information, right? There's no way that one person can retain all of this information. Just like raising a kid, it takes a village. And so having people that you can rely on, having people that you can go to that they're adamantly interested in making sure they do what they can to give you the information to protect you. Have these people in your corner.
I was wrong. There's no list. I was wrong. I thought there was a list. Whatever.
But I know somebody with a list.
A list.
A list. Yeah, these are really cool.
They do add them. So you won't, as soon as one gets reported and they find out, they will remove that one and they will find a new cert number to use. So they do continue to get new cert numbers. So it would be pretty difficult to list them because they're probably hundreds by now. Takes a village. It does. It takes a village.
And what's fun about these is you keep seeing the same items over and over again. Right? I think, is that why you're calling it a family of fakes?
Family.
Because they make changes, but they'll have the same issues on them.
They change the date. They continue to use the dies, but they
just
change
alter the dates.
But they have the same. They have the same markers as the original host coin, but it's on several dates.
Yeah, some of these are really, I would have a hard time knowing some of these if I was to ever see them, just because I don't know well enough. But yeah, so you guys pull up Jack Young, Jack Riley. Go check out some of the stuff they do. And again, if you guys would do me a favor and put that Fun with Fakes in there and let people do that, I'll let you guys manage that piece. But it's an amazing group. But Jack, if you will do me a favor and send me, if you don't mind, if you'd send me a link to your other one so we can I learn more about it. I would love to be a part of the darker side.
Yeah, Jack, that's what I said.
Family is different, dates the same attributes. Yeah, and again, it's
attribution.
Again?
Attribution. Story of my life.
Attribution.
Yeah. So, but it's a lot of fun. I enjoy this. You haven't bought the main Centennial. I got somebody who might have one for you. Let me reach out to him this afternoon and I'll see if he has one. If not, I'll have him keep one in the I-4. You guys know him. He's Ashes.
It must be a pretty highly counterfeited.
I'm getting ready to do a video on Stone Mountain. You want to talk about counterfeits?
Stone Mountain is a highly counterfeited commem. Oregon Trail is a highly counterfeited commem. There's a few of them that are more popular, I guess, or more highly counterfeited than others. But I didn't know about the Maine. It sounds like the Maine must be a problem also.
It could be a issue in a specific area too, because I haven't seen too many down in this area. What we get a lot down in here in Texas is fake Libertads. We get a lot of fake
Really?
Libertads down here. Yeah.
Yeah, we just don't know.
Being so close to the Mexican border. I went to Stone Mountain last night. Oh, that's pretty cool.
And I'll tell you one thing about...
I've just finished my script, and I'm working on putting everything together. It's going to be released in like 2 weeks. So
there are lots of counterfeited commems. Yeah, I just don't know which ones are more popular than others. I do know the Stone Mountain and the Oregon Trail are two common ones, and I'll tell you one thing about Jack's group, Fun with Fakes, too, is don't think it's just like the older coins, because there's newer stuff that goes in there, too, and it's not just fakes. It's altered coins, so it's not just counterfeits, it's also altered coins. So, yeah, it's definitely worth, no matter what you collect, every series has counterfeited coins. So
agree. Yeah, that's fact. Hey, Paula, I want to show you something.
Okay, is it?
You ready?
Family friendly?
You want to see something really cool? We're changing the topic, and this is going to be my segue.
I heard that on Twilight Zone. Want to see something scary? Oh, nice. No way. Silver minions.
Are those cool as hell?
Illumination.
All I need is Bob. I got Stuart and Dave. All I need is Bob. Bifrost saw those, and she's like, if those happen to disappear, it's not me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love the little minions. They're so cute.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, let's go ahead and get to the last topic that we had today. And this is not regarding numismatics. This is actually, this is more silver-based. It does affect us within the realm of numismatics. But there's this thing that's happening tomorrow. And
I know what you're talking about. This is where I'm out.
Yeah, no worries. And it's called the Silver Squeeze. I'm sure you guys have heard a bunch of this. It's all coordinated for March 31st. It's the purchasing of a bunch of silver. They think silver is underappreciated. And there's been a lot of discussion, and there were a couple questions. Eric and I talked about this in the stream yesterday a little bit. I've seen quite a few videos. Silver Seeker did a really good video talking about the Silver Squeeze in relation to what happened in 2021. SD Bullion and Kitco, I think, were his resources for those because of the information that they had put out, and then his video followed. One thing that I want to talk to you guys about is fear of missing out, right? Being careful of jumping on the bandwagon. And this doesn't matter if it is coin related, if it is bullion related, if this is things in your personal life. Be careful jumping on a bandwagon. The situation that is here has a potential to cost people a bunch of money. And if we look historically, after every one of these attempts, one of the most famous one was the situation with the Hunt brothers, right? FOMO is a hell of a drug. That's absolutely right, Eric.
Yeah. And the dealers will want to kiss you if you go out and buy all their silver, because there's a glut right now.
Yeah, and so what I want to do is, I don't really want to get into too much depth about this, but I do want to issue you all a warning. Okay, I'm not buying it. Well, be careful of the hype. Here's the thing. In these situations, they're what's called speculative. Okay, and I'm not a finance person, so I'm not going to talk about the financial aspect of it. I'm not going to tell you that you should or should not buy. I want you to have some information and just be informed. Be careful with speculation. Now, speculation has the opportunity, the upside, okay, of really yielding a good payout. But just like investing, whether it's in crypto, whether it's in stock, do not invest more than you can afford, and do not invest more than you're prepared to lose. So I want to urge caution on this March 31st, this silver squeeze. I want to urge caution for you folks, okay? That I do not want you guys to get caught up in it. If you want to buy it because you want to, not because you think you have some inside scoop and inside information and you're going to beat the system. Because I'm going to tell you, the system is designed to cost you money. So be careful. Doesn't mean you won't be able to find some good deals. Doesn't mean you won't be able to get some silver. Doesn't mean you won't be able to realize a profit. Just be careful. You can't play with scared money. That's a great thing. Don't invest anything that you aren't prepared to lose. The speculation that's coming out with this particular item, and when you look at the question yesterday was, are coin shops, our bullion shops, buying or selling silver? And I've heard both sides of this.
How the margins are changing.
Yeah, huh?
How the margins are changing. Right now, they're taking their margins on when they're buying silver from customers. Silver's up. So a lot of people want to sell silver. So the dealers are taking their margin, which is what they pay their bills with, when they buy it from you. From what I understand, you can buy silver at almost spot now.
Yeah, a matter of fact, I just got a notification not too long ago from JM and SD that it's like 50 cents over spot.
Right, but if you're selling to them, they're running about $3 under spot to buy it from you. That was common in 2008. That's what the dealers were doing, so they didn't totally lose the house.
Yeah, and again, folks, I know we're talking silver, but I want you to understand.
Works the same with gold.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. It works the same way with stocks. It works the same way with numismatics. Just because somebody's trying to push the price up because they think it's underrealized, I want you guys just to be aware. And I mentioned silver because that's what they're talking about. They're calling this a silver squeeze. But just be careful. Don't mortgage your property to buy a bunch of silver. Don't take out a $10,000 loan to buy a bunch of silver. You have during the Hunt situation and during the issue within, I think it was 2008 and then again in 2021. And I may be a little bit off on the dates, and if I am, you can correct me. There are people who still have silver from those time frames, and they've never been able to get their money back because they bought it at such a high price.
Yep. I know a coin dealer that's got it. He says, fortunately, he had made enough money to where he just basically put that aside when it tanked, and he's over 80 years old now. I don't know if he sold it yet, because this story he told me was like 2021. He says, I'm keeping it. I've just made more money since then.
Yeah, and so I want you guys just to be careful. Now, there's the old adage, buy low, sell high, right? That makes logical sense. But Yoxnav said something very, very poignant. He says, stick with dollar cost average buying. Same amount weekly, no matter what. You'll hear the same thing from investment folks that are looking at, stocks and bonds and things of that nature. Buy because you want to own it. Don't buy it because you think you're going to beat the system. I love the comment that was made regarding the, you can't play with scared money, or don't ever extend yourself. As you're spent years doing Wall Street after law school, it says, be very clear, don't overextend yourself, because you will not be able to afford if it doesn't do what you're speculating on. So be very, very careful. there's going to be a ton of hype on this. And you're going to hear a lot of people, you're going to hear a lot of channels say, you got to go, got to go, got to go, got to go. If you look at who these channels are, almost every one of them is talking about this is sponsored by a bullion company. Okay, pay attention to it. Look at it. Dig a little bit past the surface of things. Same thing when we're looking at these coins. You can't just take the coins for face. You got to dig into them, look at them, find out what's going on, find out what's real, find out what's authentic, find out what those markers are, find out what the original thing is. Is it edged lettering? Is it edged lettering or is it not? Right? Like, understand the premise of the coin before you go buy. You should be familiar with what you want to do. Have a plan. Stick to the plan. I said this yesterday, and I'll say it every day if I have to. I talk about it in relationships. Again, this is my mantra. Act. Don't react. Okay?
I think there's a paradox in the Robinhood thing. Robinhood got together and said everybody needs to buy this stock, and it flew up, and a few people got money off of it, but most people lost on it.
Yeah,
and they called that a squeeze.
There's a couple different ways in which this happens. And I am not an investment person. If there's somebody who understands this way better than me, yeah, so that's GameStop is the one that Seeker and SD Bullion and them used. There was another one that they used but again, this is where you're talking about stock versus physical silver. Same premise applies, same rules apply. But and again, I don't know that I'm the best person to actually break down the stock and talk about specifically why or what is happening. But it basically goes something like this. You're going to have people who want to do what's called short the set, right? So they're going to buy it high and then they're going to sell against it because they want the price to go down. And then they're going to sell it back they're going to buy it back, they're going to sell it, and then they're going to buy it back at the other price. And they win money, they gain money when the price drops. That's what happened in GameStop. All these big people said, this company's you look at the information, it's bad, and it's going to be dropping, and so everybody went to short the company, right? So you can buy the upside or you can buy the downside. And everybody went to buy the downside. The problem is that because everybody was buying, it ended up sending GameStop stock from $40 to almost $500. And everybody who went to short the stock lost massive money. In the Hunt campaign, hoard it. Everybody's buying. They drove the silver price through the freaking roof, and then it plummeted. It failed. And what happened? Now you have a ton of people who bought silver at $55, $60, whatever the price was, and they'll never be able to recuperate that price ever. That's why when that dropped, they weren't able to actually lower. And if you remember, spot price was one thing, and then the premiums never came down. This is when you had 50, 60% premiums on Silver Eagles, 70%, 80% premiums on Silver Eagles.
But the shorting the contract silver is possible.
Yeah, you can. But again, I mean, it's the same general premise.
Right, absolutely.
And so what I want you guys to be aware of, what I want you to be careful with, is the reaction. You're going to see a bunch of people buying it. You're going to be talking about a bunch of people buying ounces and ounces and ounces. And you may see silver jump $2, $3, $4, $5. And you may go, oh my God, I lost. But there's no guarantee that you're not going to be able to turn around and sell that before it drops $8. And it's very likely, if you look at the history of them, the 3 times that that's happened, that's exactly what occurred. Say what?
I just was saying goodbye to Jack.
Okay,
Have a
Jack.
blessed day, Jack. We'll talk.
Thanks for coming in. I really appreciate you being here.
You're supposed to tell them, Paula, have your people call my people.
Have your people call my people, Jack. Well, your people are my people. So now what?
So now you just say what you said originally.
Yeah, it sounded good.
But yeah, it's just one of those things. What I don't want you guys to do. I am about this. All three of us on panel, and the two Jacks that were in chat. Chuck. I mean, there's a number of people. CoinShow podcast. We talk about these people all the time. There's a group of people who have one thing in mind: safeguarding the community. Doesn't matter if you're on the stacking side. Doesn't matter if you're in the collection, the numismatic side. Doesn't matter if you're in the metal detecting or the salvaging side. Find those people in your community that are really desirous of protecting the hobby. It's not a money grab. I can tell you right now that the three of us here on panel are not making it rich, trying to teach you guys the proper methods for identifying errors, varieties, connecting you with other people. We're not making tons of money doing this. We're not trying to teach you something only to sell you something.
I spend money, and the reason I do it, everybody says, you're making an investment in this and this. I don't buy them to invest in them. I buy them. They're my toys.
Yeah.
I love them. It's what I do. And if I make money off of them one day, that'll be wonderful. But I didn't buy them for that. I bought them because I like them.
Southern Coin Hunter says, I still miss the live coin Q&A sessions.
Oh, we'll be back. We'll be back. In fact, we're gonna be meeting with Shay in a few days, and we'll be back. It'll be different, but we'll still be helping you guys out, and
Yay!
Yeah, it'll be better than ever. So we'll be back.
I have entered.
Don't give up on it. Don't give up on it.
I have entered the dark side.
That is the dark side. That is pretty much going to be my focus from now on.
He just sent me the invite. That is cool as hell. Thank you, Jack.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I would love in there too, but I'm not in a hurry.
Yeah.
Did you send him, Eric? Send him a request. Okay.
Oh, just I'll talk to you later about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get you connected. That's cool. But yeah, so again, surround yourself with people. I just want to be careful. I'm not telling you to buy. I'm not telling you not to. I'm not telling you to sell. I'm not telling you to do anything. You ultimately have to make your decision. All I can do is the best at trying to give you information that protects you. And are we going to see a Silver Squeeze unboxing? Absolutely not. I am not buying because I'm not in a position to buy right now, because I just spent more money than I wanted to on a class ring. Bifrost, we picked out Bifrost's graduation ring, and so I've got another 2 weeks before I can purchase anything. So it's definitely not going to happen. But just be careful with it. Now, as far as the conversation regarding, silver, are they buying or selling? I've heard both sides. So I know people that are selling it because the price is high. They have a feeling that it's going to hit a choke point. It's going to drop. I've heard people say that, by the end of 2025, we're looking at $26 or $36 to $40 for an ounce. So again, it's all speculative. I don't think any of us really know.
I learned through years of doing it, there's no rhyme and reason to it. There's so many variables that make things go up and make things go down, especially in precious metals. Industry, good economy. That people say, well, good economy, make it go down. Not always true, because then consumption by industry cuts into what we're using. There's all sorts of variables to this. And, like Azer said, the dealers and wholesalers are usually the beneficiary as far as physical silver goes. Because I'm telling you, I was surprised that on the Coin Show podcast, we didn't hear that the coin dealers were pushing gold and silver at that Whitman show. Because I've been to fun shows where I've walked in there and there's no coins. Everybody's got gold and silver because they're trying to get rid of it.
Well, I heard that, at least in the California shows, that nobody is buying or selling because the dealers don't want to buy at the price that people want to sell at because everybody wants to sell at melt or over.
Everybody wants to sell at spot and buy at spot. That's the problem.
And they can't buy at that because they can't sell at that. So.
That's right. Well, and that's what I'm saying. In times like this, the dealers turn where they don't pay, but they end up selling close to spot.
I'm sure you'll see some YouTube dealers that'll be like, "Not me. I buy all the time. I sell all the time. Whatever."
Well, no, they're buying, but like I say, they've got light bills and employees to pay and stuff like that, and they take a margin somewhere. When gold and silver are selling great, they charge a margin on the buy. They don't charge as much on the sell.
Yeah, and remember, when you're talking brick and mortar, they have bills to pay, folks. They got staff to pay. It's not like you have a one person sitting in, their spare bedroom with a stack of silver or gold on their table and they're just selling it out to you. Brick and mortar, they have to be profitable or they're not going to remain open.
That's
and most of these people don't do it in the sale of one or two items. In order to be profitable, they have to do volume.
Well, I don't think it's just the brick and mortar, though. I think
it's the coin dealers in general. They got to pay. When you go to a coin show, some of these coin shows charge $500 for a table. And then you've got
they can't pay you melt or over melt if they can't sell it for that, right?
Right. That's
right. And I was watching a video, and I don't remember who it was. I want to say it was Silver Dragons, but I can't remember. Because I was doing a little bit of research on this topic yesterday. And one of the things that there was this coin channel, this coin shop that they walked into, and on the board, they have this thing that tell you, it's 5 ounces, 10 ounces, whatever, these coins, Britannias, Philharmonics, Kangaroos, ASEs, and they'll tell you what they're buying and selling it at. And he's like, well, a lot of people don't realize, like, we have $1.35. That's our balance. Mm-hmm. So we'll buy it for $1 under spot, and we'll sell it for 35, 40, 50 cents over spot. Some of the premium stuff we sell for a little bit higher because it's premium, obviously, but we are not paying you the premium price when we buy it. If you buy a $50 premium silver coin, you're getting spot for it when we buy it back.
That or under spot.
Or under spot. And it's like, be very, very careful when you're looking at these premium silver or these premium gold pieces or stuff like this. It's here. I just set it aside.
And I had asked Miss Coin Crew yesterday, do they have a number? I can remember there was numbers. Coin dealer said, if silver gets to this much money, I'm not buying it. I'm just going to totally say no. That will happen if it really spikes. They're all going to say, oh, nope, they're going to wait 2 days.
I think it does it if it goes too low, too, because I remember a few years ago when silver dropped down to like $13 an ounce or something like that, but you couldn't find anybody that's like shops were closing their doors.
Right. Actually, I think
like AppMex and all the
AppMex
websites
quit selling.
Shut down.
That's right.
They shut down. Yep. You couldn't find it.
Here's a great example.
Do you any good, right?
Okay, this is a great example, and I have this piece for show and tell, and I've got a couple of these other ones, and I enjoy these small coins just because I think they're cool. This is a dos peso.
Under spot, yeah.
But
sure.
That's because they got a lot of volume in their inventory.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing. So this is a 20th ounce. Okay. And this little gold piece is Australian, it's a half a it's a half a gram of gold. Excuse me, it's a half a gram of gold. This is $100.
That's crazy.
You can buy a gram of gold for $100, but it's extremely high premium. Now let's talk about that. So if you have 31.2 or 31.3 grams, troy ounces of gold in an ounce, and you're paying $100 for a half ounce, you're paying $6,200 for an ounce of gold by buying this.
Ouch.
Ouch. Holy cow, ouch.
Ouch.
Okay, you're paying twice as much. So if you're going to do stuff like this, be smart about it. Now, I don't collect platinum. That's platinum. And I have two pieces. And I have two pieces for one purpose and one purpose only. To say I have platinum.
Yeah, you don't have a FOMO.
That's it. I have it because I
have one little tiny piece too.
Yeah, it's just, I have platinum. Okay, cool. It's just just a thing. Cool.
I got an old rusty catalytic converter in my garage. I got platinum too.
But this is where things like this, guys, I get it's gold. And I get that you may not have the ability to go buy a half ounce or a quarter ounce at any given time, especially when you're talking about, thanks, Azure, I appreciate you. You can tell I'm not a stacker. I should know fairly close to that number. I know it's 31 something. That's all I know. But
that's like pie.
Yeah, I have pieces, and I have a couple pieces, and I've been given them as gifts. People saying thank you, that sending me the 1/20th or the 1/100th of an ounce or stuff like that. But people are buying 10 grains of gold for $40. Like, you guys, it's grain. Like, holy cow! If you were to buy an ounce and you're spending $40 or $30 for a grain, you're spending almost $9,000 an ounce. $10,000 an ounce. You know what? Put that money aside for 2 or 3 months and buy you a quarter ounce. Buy you a $5 Incuse Indian. Save it. Don't waste your money on this fancy high end. You'll never, ever, ever, ever recuperate your money from it. And I don't want, it could have been Harry's, I don't remember, Mag. I'm not trying to beat you guys up. A lot of people are like, oh, they're so cool. Yeah, they are. I've got a little half-ounce Samurai that I spent way too much money on just because I wanted the piece. It's not something I'd ever turn around and sell, but it was really cool. I love samurais. I love Japanese history, and I was able to buy that along with an old authentic silver samurai coin. Really cool piece. But the small little piece of gold was 4 times what it should have been. But I wanted it. But I'll never, ever, ever realize that price. I'll never get that money back. But if you're trying to utilize this, and again, don't use the term silver and gold investing. I hate that word because you're hedging. Because your investments will see money increase. These are volatile. They'll go up and down. Gold is safer than silver, but silver has more upside. So you'll see more people doing silver. That's why they talk about the silver spread. You're talking about the difference. It's right now. It's like, I think it's the gold to silver ratio is like 90 to 1 or something like that. But be careful getting overly caught up in that. If you're going to stack, buffaloes, like do simple stuff. But if you're going to buy gold, save your money.
Yeah, if you want just volume, buy generic.
Yeah, save your money and don't buy premium stuff. And I know it's shiny, and I know it's cool, and I know it's pretty. And folks, come on. I mean, I'm a collector. I got all sorts of premium crap. I'm not telling you not to do it, but I'm talking if you're trying to make money, you're trying to serve this. These are pieces I like because I like them, right? This isn't an investment. This is Frosty thinks this is badass. So Frosty spent too much money to get this dragon sword, right? If that's what you want to do, that's your purpose, then fine, by all means, do it. But understand that if anything was to happen and you really needed the money in hard times, you're never going to get your realization back in this, ever, especially from a coin shop. So just be aware and be careful of these FOMO situations where people will scare you into spending more money. Another great one. What are your thoughts on this, Paula?
Yeah, you already know my thoughts on that.
Plead the Fifth.
Yeah, nice label.
Yeah, you're buying the label. Back that bugger out of there. Nobody knows what this is.
And the little pack that you get to rip it out of.
Yeah.
It's gambling. Gambling.
$200 to get a $50 coin. Now, you know how much I got this for?
Not what it originally went for.
Hell no, I got it for $60.
Yeah.
Why did I get this for $60? Well, because I thought it'd be cool to have an ultra label. It's not worth more than 45 or 50.
And the person who originally bought it paid a lot more than that.
Tons of money. Right? So again, it's just making sure you understand this one. Right?
Buy what you like.
Really cool. Why did I buy this? Well, it's MS-70. Oh my God. No, I bought it because it's a ship.
It's a ship.
The ship. That's it. That's the only reason I bought this. It is a coin. It is MS-70. That's nice. But if you pull this particular one and you pull up the numbers on them, there's more MS-70s than there are 69s. Does this make this a really rare? Oh my God, it's 70. It's so rare. No, it doesn't. It just means that they graded at 70. Right? What's the mintage on these? Like, 840,000 or something? You know what I mean? So again, don't get caught up in the emotional aspect of collecting. Especially if you're going to try to do it for stacking, and be very, very careful if you're looking at doing fractionals. I know there's a lot of people who love to do fractional, and I'll tell you the very freaking worst thing you can buy. I know people love these damn things.
I think you said that, Eric.
Why? And this one right here, fractional Libertads. These things go almost as much as you can get an ounce for. They're crazy. They're expensive. Why would you stack these? Don't. Just don't do it. Does that RAM look familiar, Chappie? It might. But again, why? So why do I have these? I like them because they're cool. Because I collect that stuff. And it's nice to have silver. And if I'm going to be spending money on something, at least I have something that I can recoup some of my money. Versus if I'm playing a video game and spending $300 a month on a freaking video game. And $300 a month for a video game in some of these games is child's play. There are people who spend thousands on video games. So,
can I just say something really quick?
Yeah, please, fire away.
I just want to thank Angry Warrior and you because I haven't had the opportunity yet for that awesome little pour that he sent and that you sent me.
Oh, absolutely.
That was so nice of you guys. I will love it and treasure it always.
We were talking about the pours, and I have my SR-71.
That was so sweet, Angry Warrior, and I'm sorry I said something earlier, but
Angry says, well, she was Air Force, right? And I was like, yes.
Yes.
And he's like, I think we need to pour one. And I sent the money to him, and I said, do it. Like, fire it off. And again, those are just thank yous for all the time and the effort that you do. But you do so much for the community to really help people understand what's happening.
So Eric Beyer and you can say this too. When I love to help you guys, I just love that. I loved it. I want everybody to really enjoy this hobby because I love this hobby. So when I try to teach and stuff like that, when I see you guys coming back and see what you've learned and see you finding stuff and see you passing on the information, that is the thanks I need. That's it. That is all,
It
because
feels good,
all
doesn't
that
it?
Yeah.
does is promotes the hobby and makes the hobby better as a whole.
It's
So
like telling a joke and then having somebody else tell you the same joke you told somebody else.
yeah.
It's an amazing feeling.
And I got away from that, and I need to get, and I'm getting back into that. I'm focusing on that. Um, yeah. So
And there's negative outlets. Just stay away from the negative outlets. That, like say,
and
Facebook.
that's what I'm doing.
It is
Yeah.
Facebook can be toxic and it can ruin your whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I
Yeah.
have the
I've
F-15
left a
prototype.
lot
Angry.
of. So anyway, that was very, very, very sweet, and I appreciate that so much.
Yeah, and I want you to know
Came at a
that
really good time.
he told me that that's probably one of the nicest F-16s he's ever poured. He's like, it came out so good.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
So,
And
yeah.
one of these times, and maybe next week, I'll fire up my microscope and I'll show you guys. I would have thought about it earlier. I would have done it today, but I got to get ready for church. I'll show it maybe next week, Azure. I have to go get ready for church, so I don't want to pull out my scope and everything else, but it's really, really cool. It's actually sitting right here, so. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Sean,
I got to get going.
Sean, the SR-71 is amazing. I love that piece. I was so freaking happy that I was able to get that from Angry. Angry does some amazing work. I'm going to have to, maybe I'll do, Angry, I think I'm going to have you up. Are you available next Sunday? If you are, I'm going to see if he can't have time to kind of walk through some of the process, but I want to have him show some of his pours.
Nice. I would love to see that. I love pours. I do love pours.
Angry, let me know if you have time next Sunday. If you do, we'll do a pour, a whole talk about just silver pours, and you can show some of your stuff. I'll show some of the pieces that I have. You want me to post his link? If I could have one of the mods grab Angry Warrior's channel link, I'd appreciate it.
I got to get going, you guys. Everybody have a blessed Sunday.
See you, Paula.
Thanks, Angry. Paula, I appreciate you. Love you, my friend.
Yeah, I love you too, you guys. All right. See you guys later.
You too.
See ya. Angry, I will reach out to you. I'll text you here in just a little bit. I got to get off. I got to go wake up by Frost. She's got some plans with a friend. I need to make sure she gets up and cleaned up before her friend comes and picks her up. Thanks, Chappie. Appreciate you throwing that in there. Sean Witzel, his SR-71 though, it's freaking amazing. I don't have that here. I actually took it to my offsite storage. I need to go grab that. I'll go grab those for next week, and I'll show that SR-71. The best piece that I have of Angry is a monster, and it was actually done for FMD, and FMD authorized him to send me the prototype. It's 2 ships and an anchor. Oh my God, this thing is amazing. So I will go to my offsite storage sometime this coming weekend, and I'll pull out some of that stuff because I don't store any of that stuff at the house. So I will go and I will pull that stuff out. I will bring that up. Angry, I'll reach out to you, find a time, and then next Sunday we'll have Angry up and we'll show some of his pours and talk about kind of what he does. Maybe bring out some of his tools and talk about the art of pouring silver. I think that would be really cool. So Angry, if you're up for it, he says he'll make time for me. If you were up for that, then we'll coordinate that because I think that'll be a lot of fun. What do you think, Eric?
Sure. Sounds good. I
Cool.
enjoy that kind of stuff. It's stuff I'm not familiar with.
Very cool. All right. Well, folks, as always, thanks so much. Everything that was brought today was because of you guys offering suggestion. And so please send me stuff, send me emails, ask me questions. I would love for Sundays to just be about you. What you guys want to know, I can pull up the information. We can share it. Eric and Paula and Chuck and I have conversations before streams. We can do research, find stuff out. Let me know. And because I enjoy conversations like this where we get to answer questions and do stuff. Tripwit, exclamation point, email. And that will bring up my email. But yeah, send me questions. Send me stuff. You'll see it there at the very bottom, frostbyte@gmail.com. But yeah, Angry, no problem, brother, man. You do amazing work. You're always doing good stuff for the community. So absolutely, I like supporting different people in the community. I think it would actually be fun to get a bunch of different pourers on for a session to talk about what they do and how they do it and what the art is and do some silver pieces. And then at the end, maybe get some people to sell a couple pieces. I think that would be fun, kind of support the hobby a little bit. All right, folks. Well, hey, Kevin Rose, we need to do one for you too, and some of the stuff you do, and have you design a jewelry piece live. I think that would be cool too. Silver Church Sundays. That's actually funny. I like that, the Acadian Carpenter. You shouldn't have retracted that message. It's funny. All right, folks. Well, hey, Eric, thank you so much for coming up. I know
thanks for having me, and I'll see
you guys didn't talk too much. I actually talked more than you did on a Sunday.
There. It's good. It's your show. I learned a lot. There was some subjects I just wasn't real knowledgeable on. So I learn every time we do this too. So anyways, you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you all soon.
We'll see you later, Eric. Have a good one. All right, folks. Well, as always, thank you so much for the support. And again, when you're looking at this silver, you're looking at what's going to happen tomorrow, be careful. I'm not telling you guys not to collect this stuff. I do. You can see it. You can see all sorts of amazing, cool little trinkets that I have, like this beautiful little harpy piece, right? I'm not telling you not to buy collectible stuff. I'm a collector myself. I'm just saying that when you buy silver, when you buy gold, when you're buying numismatics, do a little bit of research and make sure that you are acting and not reacting. Very important. All right, folks, I love you guys. Thank you so much earlier for the $20 Super Chat MP68. Greatly appreciated. I have the Tesla. Ooh, outstanding. I do too. So, really cool piece. I'll have to show that another time. All right, folks. Well, hey, be well, be blessed. Love you guys. Take care. And I will see you guys in the streams.